So guys, if your work permits are expiring in the coming year of 2024 and you need a solution, then this video will give you 6 possible solutions on what to do if your PGWPs or your work permits are expiring in the coming year. Guys, please be sure to watch the video till the end. My name is Sahil. Guys, welcome back once again. My name is Sahil and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and I practice here in Ontario. My office is here. If you have to get in touch with me, my number is on the screen and the details are there in the description box. More than happy to connect with you. Before we proceed any further, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon because we talk a lot about Canadian immigration. And if you are an aspirant of moving to Canada, then this is the channel that you must be subscribed to all the time. So guys, we are discussing the situation for international students inside Canada because these students have had the benefit of these 18 months expiry, these 18 months extensions of work permits, and students have received their extensions so far in the previous years, but they will be facing the challenge of expiring work permits in either early 2024 or the mid of 2024, and they don't know what to do. Guys, overall in this video we will talk about 6 possible solutions or 6 situations that may help you get out of this particular checkmate situation and possibly work your way towards PR. Guys, overall there is the first thing that I want to let you know in this video is that you should not get out of status. The first only solution or the first possible advice that I can give you is that make sure that you do not remain in Canada without a status, because that's the worst thing that you can do to yourself is to be inadmissible in Canada. That is not to comply with IRPA, which is the Immigration Refugee Protection Act, or the regulations of immigration here in Canada, which will clearly render you inadmissible. If you do that, then forget about PR, forget about coming to Canada in that matter as well. So first thing, you should not be out of status. Do something, do any of the permits that we may tell you, do anything that you have to do, is even if it's getting married to a long-term boyfriend or whatsoever, do not be out of status. Guys, the second most commonly given suggestion in the entire fraternity of immigration lawyers consultants is get yourself an LMIA. Well guys, let's be honest and open about it. Getting an LMIA is A, not easy, B, it's a longer and a time consuming process, C, not a lot of employers are easily willing to give it, and D, and the most important is that it is a means of under the table charging. There's a lot of fraudulent schemes going on, people are charging. So we all know that LMIAs are not so easy to get, but truth, as you may not like it, will prevail that LMIA is one of the most suitable tool for you to extend your status in Canada, because it will give you 2 benefits. One, it will keep you in status, and second, it will not only give you 50 points, but it will also give you points under CC and let you claim your pathway to PR more easily. So LMIA is the best solution at this moment. If you get your LMIA from one of your existing employers or potential new employers, do use it as a negotiation tool and try to get that, even if you have to compensate for any other job profile that you may want to, but use LMIA to your benefit. That's the solution that you're looking for. If LMIA is not happening, because as we all know that it's not an easy task to get an LMIA, the next possible thing, and this follows the first thing that I told you, is do not be out of status, is to make sure that you apply for a visitor record. Now guys, a visitor record, also known as a visitor extension, basically means that, for example, if your work permit is expiring in middle of February, right before the status expires, you want to apply for a visitor record, okay, which means you request for an extension. In that particular extension, you will be allowed to stay in Canada as a visitor, but you will not be allowed to study or work. So make sure that you do not go against the law and do not find yourself working in cash kind whatever, but you should not be working, you can only stay. Now, staying in Canada will give you a benefit of putting your file in the express entry system or any other PNP. If picked up, you can later apply for a bridging open work permit. So that's the benefit of a visitor record, okay? But the negative side is you're not earning. It will be a cost, it will be a big cost for you every day. So please be sure that you're financially prepared if you try to go down that route. The next solution, as a lot of people will not like it, is to be used with caution only. Okay, now guys, a lot of students who have had the benefit of PGWP plus an extension will probably come to a situation where they have accumulated enough points or enough Canadian experience to be a part of the CEC category. Okay, once you have your profile in the express entry system of Canadian experience class, unfortunately, if you're not able to get enough points, then the next thing you would want to do is make sure that you have all the documents, the pay stubs, T4 and everything. Put your 1 year together, put it in the express entry system, and then you can head back to your home country. Guys, once you head back to your home country, start working overseas. So start working in your home country in any company, in any designation. That should be a highly skilled position, but start working. Once you work in that designation overseas back home, that 1 year will also count for more points in express entry. Plus, parallelly, you work your way towards learning French. So that means your going back home does not go waste. So what you do is you go back only if you have accumulated enough months or hours of getting into CC. Plus, you go back home and get 1 year of international work experience. Additionally, you learn French in 1 year, right? So these three things will or should be enough for you to bounce back in express entry, increase your points. Okay, and this way, even though you're outside Canada, even if you're back home, you can still be in the part of Canadian experience class with a limitation. So CEC has one limitation, that you can apply for CEC only if you have 1 year of Canadian experience in the past 3 years. Okay, so as long as you satisfy that condition, you can continue to apply for CEC, or even if you don't do that, you will have overseas experience. So you just combine everything, you'll get points for international education, you'll get points for Canadian education, degree and everything, and then you try to gain more points. Okay, so that will be one possible solution. The most important solution that we have for you is to apply for a study permit. Now this is very tricky and you need to understand how to utilize this study permit. Okay, now first of all, if you think of applying for a study permit after your work permits expire, that particular situation will have three possible benefits for you. One, you will have the luxury of working for 20 hours, which is a part-time work in Canada. Okay, so you can earn while you stay here. But since you will be studying in a private college, now the answer here is that you can study in a private college. No point in studying in a public college, which is expensive, because ultimately you will not get a PGWP, because PGWP was a once in a lifetime opportunity, right? So now no point in going to an expensive college. You can go to a cheaper private college, continue your studies. Now be smart here. If you've already done a PG diploma of 1 year, do a course that allows you to do credit transfer or get those previous credits, and do a particular course that will give you a 3-year diploma or maybe a bachelor, something like that, so that your points also increase. Okay, so select a program tactically. Select a program that may not be in the busiest of the cities, for example, Toronto or Vancouver. You can go towards the Atlantic provinces and make use of the other programs also. But maybe go to New Brunswick and try to use the student stream there, the international student stream, right? So try to go to a remote province and utilize that. So multiple benefits out of study permit. One, you get to work part-time during your study hours. It could be more also, because IRCC is considering either removing the limit or probably giving 30 hours per week. So that is still to be discussed. Next, you remain in Canada in status. Later, third, if your file is in express entry, you will still continue to reap the benefits. So say for example, you get invitation under CEC or any other draw, then you can apply for a bridging open work permit afterwards, right? So you get that benefit. Fourth, if you are living in the Atlantic or if you are living in any other province, you might come across a designated employer or an employer that is willing to give you an LMIA. So this way, you can later convert back from a study permit to a work permit if required or if suitable, right? So that will also give you the benefit of remaining in the working class in Canada. And last but not the least, while you are studying, while you are inside Canada, you can also learn French. Okay, so this way you will gain more points, and later if there is a French draw and you happen to be in the system inside Canada, you never know, you might get picked up, right? So overall, this will be beneficial for you, that if you apply for a study permit, if you convert from a work permit to a study permit, or even if you're getting married, that will be helpful. Which brings me to the next solution. If you are in a relationship with another student or PGWP holder or a permanent resident or citizen, even if you are in common law, you can think of getting married or even apply for a work permit or a spousal open work permit based on common law. That could be very useful for you. Guys, overall, it's not going to be disastrous for everybody. Like I said, people will be able to find solutions. Canada thankfully has still a few avenues open where students may not have to leave, and that may not be the only solution left over. Overall, what I would say is that even if you have some PGWP, if you have some work permit left over, I recommend leaving the mainstream city, provided you have 1 year of Canadian experience. Okay, so there is an underscore here. Provided you have 1 year of Canadian experience already, you can then think of moving to Atlantics. You never know that you may come across an employer who would be ready to either give you designated employer benefit of AIPP, or maybe an LMI or of the any of that sort. But still, you will have to make the hard work or the hard effort, find yourself a solution. Guys, I hope these solutions were helpful or gave you much insights into what's possible with regards to Canadian immigration. If you have anything in mind to discuss with us, please feel free to schedule a consultation. We would be more than happy to speak to you, find out a way in keeping you in status and keeping you back here in Canada. Guys, we wish you all the best and we really hope to see you soon in Canada. All the best.